This is FULCRUM, a Star Wars podcast. Your way of tapping into the Force from a galaxy far, far away. Hello there.
Hello, what have we here? Here's where the fun begins.
Count me in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to FULCRUM, a Star Wars podcast. Today we continue our rewatch of Star Wars Rebels with Season 2, Episodes 13 and 14. Episode 13 is The Protector of Concord Dawn. This one was directed by Brad Rau and written by Henry Gilroy and Kevin Hopps. It originally premiered on January 27th, 2016. And Episode 14 is Legends of the Lasat. It premiered on February 3rd, 2016, was directed by Saul Ruiz, and written by Matt Miknevitz. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you, and I am outside on a beautiful night. I'm a little off the wine, and I'm having a great fucking time, so let's do this thing. Yes. How'd you feel about these episodes, which we got a Sabine and a Zeb episode, which are few and far in between, and god damn, do I like it when they do it.
Very, very different episodes, that's for sure. One is, you're right, it's just one Sabine and one is Zeb. But they do work nice as a pairing in the sense of putting a spotlight on the lesser, I guess. Well, they're part of the family. Not to call them
they are
lesser,
part of the family, but they are definitely the fourth and fifth fiddle, I would say, in the Rebels crew, And not only do we shine a light on Sabine and Zeb, but we shine a light on the Mandalorian and the Lasats, which I think is a cool way to expand on them. I really, really dug, Concord Dawn and the expanding of that. And then Zeb thought, until this episode, he was the fucking last Lasat. So, this is a huge revelation.
Man, and he's been humble this whole time. No way he forgot he was a captain, No. I mean, obviously he
didn't forget that shit.
He broke down in front of Ezra and was like that he felt like he didn't deserve it and everything.
Yeah.
And come on, man. I mean, well, it'd feel wrong if we didn't go with Sabine and then Zeb for the favorite tier.
For sure.
Character, I guess. I don't know. I loved these two episodes for them. It was nice to get them kind of back on the charts, or at least kind of like just get some. I don't know. I didn't think Zeb's this storyline was this early. For some reason, I thought I don't know, like season 3 for whatever reason. I thought it was just a lot later that this happened. But I don't know. Is the Mandalorian? Is this how we get into it more? Eventually, is this like the first in?
This is sort of a first foot in the door. Yes, when it comes to the Rebels Mandalorian storyline, there is going to be more Fen Rao. Fen Rao is a pretty big character. Come seasons, I believe seasons 3 and 4, if not maybe even later in season 2. But then we also get a foot in the door with Sabine's actual family, which when that comes back around, we really hit the ground running with Sabine's character. She gets some really interesting expansion. But for now, this was a cool way to kind of let her give in to her Mandalorian heritage a bit, and obviously show how far she's come from being the bounty hunter she once was, and the Mandalorian that she is, but that she used to abide strictly by those tenets, the end whenever Hera says, you sound more like a Jedi than a Mandalorian. My favorite line is when Sabine says, I guess I've been raised well. That's just, dude, that fucking melted me. That melted me. I loved it. And cause that's fair. That's something that we know she went to the academy and they picked her up from the academy. Which means she was a teenager, She wasn't, she was about Ezra's age, I'd imagine, whenever she got picked up, which is really, really cool.
And plans of joining the Black Sun as well. So, yeah, wasn't going down particularly the right path. Didn't seem like it. But yeah, I don't know. It is, Sabine throughout the episode is like, man, sometimes these Jedi philosophies don't work for everybody, and Kanan, he butts back and saying like, yeah, that's why we're at war.
Right.
Which I thought was pretty funny. But
Kanan's great in that episode, dude. It's a wonderful I love, the Jedi and a Mandalorian. They'll never see it coming, to quote Din Djarin. I absolutely love seeing them team up, and it's a one-on-one we don't get a lot of, and it's one that I really, really appreciate their dynamic. I really do appreciate when Sabine just gets a chance to shine, because I've noticed she doesn't particularly, like when it comes to Zeb, there's a little bit more of an understandability as to why he doesn't get a chance to shine. It's a little bit of the Wrecker thing in the Bad Batch. Yeah. It's like, well, if there's a member of the crew who's not going to get as expanded upon, it's probably him. Pretty simple guy, doesn't require a lot of exploration, and I appreciate the exploration that he does get. It gets really, really compelling, and he is a really good character, and I love him. But Sabine is a surprising one that doesn't get as much expansion as she probably deserves. You know what I'm saying? Like, she feels like she would almost be, if there was a Sabine show, just like a solo Sabine show, I don't think it would surprise anybody. Like, she could carry a series, which is why it's really interesting that she is a fourth or fifth fiddle in this.
Yeah. She makes more sense to carry a series than Din. Really, like she has a major 100%. Family connection. She had just a lot of history behind there, and it's kind of sad because in her episode that is kind of focused on her, I ended up still going with Kanan for the character. But I mean, it was kind of like Kanan really did, like Sabine held it down, and she invoked the creed, and she really held it down whenever she needed to. But Kanan was like the one to be like, no, like he's really standing on like trying to be the Jedi Order right now. There really isn't a Jedi Order if he doesn't act like it, and he, I don't know. I feel like it was really nice him walking in, sipping that soup or whatever that meal was. I don't know, with Fenn Rau and
great. And Fenn Rau, frankly, if Tia Sircar hadn't done such a good job as Sabine, because she is the easy performance pick, I think.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know who plays Fenn Rau. I believe it's the gentleman who was in Grey's Anatomy, if I'm not mistaken. The like redheaded dude.
No way. Is that right?
I might be mistaken, but I thought it was him.
I'm pulling it up now. I didn't even look into, or haven't pulled up the IMDb.
Yeah, I feel bad because I didn't look into it either
of it quite yet. But oh yeah. Wow, that is him. Yeah,
what's his name?
I don't know what his name is in Grey's Anatomy. But okay, here, let me get his actual name here. I just saw his Kevin McKidd. Is Fenn Rau?
That's right. That's right.
Man, it's bugging me that it should be. Wow, Grey's Anatomy.
I mean, it'll be pretty high on his IMDb.
Yeah, it's not even one of his main four known for.
Oh, it's not?
Dr.
That's crazy.
Owen Hunt.
Owen Hunt, Dr. Hunt, that's right. Yeah, but he's really, really good as Fenn Rau, dude. I love the way he voices him. And if Tia Sircar hadn't been, I mean, she's fucking incredible in that episode. Like, to be honest, one of my favorite vocal performances of the show is the one she puts on in that episode. Because the intensity she brings and the sweetness she's able to indulge in at the end, and just like she just gives a really nuanced performance without getting and she even does get a little sad, like at the beginning whenever the horror she displays whenever Hera comes through and she's like, it's Hera, it's bad, like that's good. Yeah, like, that is really good, like and that's that's intense. We start this episode with somebody fucking getting shot down and dying. And then they're like, and Hera's about to die too. Good luck.
I mean, I obviously know Hera doesn't die here, but like, if you're watching the show for the first time, I mean, like, she looks like she really blows up there at the beginning of the episode, and Sabine even gets to get all serious, like whenever she's like, I forget something about the creed to Fenn Rau, but then you're gonna pay for what you did to Hera, just straight up, like this
holding
this
it down
isn't
for mom.
Just diplomacy anymore. This is this is personal.
I'm here to fuck you up. I'm gonna fight you to the death. That's what I'm challenging you to. Obviously she doesn't plan on doing that, but it is a wonderful way to get the the tension ramped up, you know? Like, Fenrir's like, call out your opponent. Do it. Who are you going to fight to the death right now? And she's like, I call you, Fenrir. And you're like, okay, let's fucking cook. My shot comes from that sequence whenever she's like, Kanan, I really need you to shut the fuck up right now. And she's got her hand hovering over her blaster. And it's got, like, just the classic Old West standoff. Yeah. And the soundtrack's going.
Man.
And everything's firing. It's so good.
That
These,
was
like,
one thing I noticed between both of the episodes was that the soundtrack was like, I don't know. Whenever we got to the Lasat, whatever black hole, whatever thing, it was like
the Maelstrom.
Yeah, that whatever music was playing in the background, like I really, really dug.
Oh, dude, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
and I think they leveled up season 2. Because I feel like almost every episode, I notice how fucking good the score is. Like, do you remember the Halloween episode? It's the one, the music that played during that was so perfect. And even last week when we discussed episodes 11 and 12, I remember 11 just having some really, really great musical cues. And I think that, like, that's something that, I mean, Star Wars doesn't really miss on scores, you know, but when it comes to Kevin Kiner, and now he's handed it off to his children, Deanna and Sean, I want to say. I can't remember if that's their names, but I feel like that's right, Deanna and Sean. But
a powerful family with the music.
Oh, they're so good. They are so good. And knowing that they provide, like, the Kiner siblings provide the Bad Batch and Ahsoka with music mostly, and they've been credited as doing additional accompaniment for their dad for years now. So it's cool to see them finally ascend the ranks. But yeah, if you look these up, it's still just Kevin Kiner, their dad. But yeah, like the Rebels soundtrack, they finally put seasons 3 and 4 on streaming. They didn't have seasons 3 and 4 to listen to for a while, so I'm excited to engage with those and remind myself how good it is when Thrawn gets into the show. But yeah, they cook with the music, man. It's always so good.
Yeah, I don't know. It is one thing I am looking forward to, is whenever Thrawn gets in. But I don't know. I'm enjoying the pre-Thrawn actually a lot more than
100%
than I would thought. I know I was gonna love it, but no, it is the, like, this Zeb episode. I think Zeb's episode was a little bit stronger, just for the. You know, it's finding a new home. You know, and it's the goal wasn't let's go try to make let's talk with some bloodthirsty Mandalorians who don't want to do anything with us and don't care.
Yeah, which has a certain degree of coolness to it. You know, like I won't lie, but no, the literal Zeb discovering that his people still exist and there's a whole planet full of them, like, that's fucking awesome. Man, it's actually kind of shocking, and I understand story wise, you know, that there actually comes a point later where Sabine goes home for a while, and we don't see her for a couple episodes. Like, she goes to Mandalore and she stays on Mandalore. So it's kind of surprising that they didn't give Zeb the same treatment here on Lyrasan, like him exploring his cultural identity as he rediscovers it a little bit, like kind of returning to Mecca, as this is the, you know, the ancestral home of the Lasats. It's kind of wild that that's not it's not something they decided to do for him. And obviously, we know the end of the show. He takes Callus there and stuff, and that's where they get married and everything. But you know, but obviously, we also know now. Yeah, right. It is kind of insane that Callus ends up being like, I love Callus later on, and it just does not feel that way yet. But I do love the way that they portray Callus as being, as respecting the rebels. You know, like they showed that in I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I don't know. Whenever Ezra is like escaping, you know, and he's got the triple guard up, and you know I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he and the Admiral Brom Titus is like, you know, you're worried about this fucking kid. He's like, don't fucking sleep on them, man. Like, they're good at this shit, you know? And he's like, you almost sound like you respect them. And he does, man. Like, he even in this episode, he's like, as much as I would like to watch you get eaten up by the Maelstrom, like, come on now, let's do this the easy way. I love the way that character is explored and expanded upon, specifically through Zeb. And that we're coming up quick on that episode where they get the one-on-one and Callus really realizes how bad shit is. That's season 2. I know that's season 2. I can't remember when. I think it's in the teens. Well, yeah, I mean, we're there now, but,
Let's see, the call next in Homecoming, doesn't look... The Honorable Ones, there it is, episode 17, Zeb and Callus.
Fuck yeah,
Wow,
fuck yeah.
stranded on a frozen
The call...
planet. Wow.
The Call might be my favorite fucking episode in this show. I will not cap with you.
Okay.
It just, when I rewatched it the most recent time, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking incredible. But regardless, not to breach that gap here. The Lasat episode, we get Hondo Onaka too, which is always a plus.
Man, but he's a
love
dick
Hondo
in this one, sadly.
Oh, I mean, he's almost always like this though. This is just kind of what he does.
He was way more on the Empire side on this one, though. I feel like he was really not.
Well, the Empire side was the one that kept him alive, and that's Hondo's bag.
That's true, and him getting paid. That's all he cares about. It's like when will we work out the details of the payment? That's what I need to know first and foremost.
He helped them. He saved them once, and Ezra being like, "We owe you one," and Kanan's like, "No, we don't."
No, we don't
it's fucking
all.
incredible. I love it. I love it.
Hey, there's stormtroopers on the way. Huh? What? How close are they? Pew pew pew. They're already firing at them.
Pretty
it's like,
close.
Well, not too helpful there, Hondo. But yeah, I guess I don't know. He didn't really have much of a choice after getting captured. I guess, but he seems he was going to do that no matter what. He was looking for a bag, looking for another I don't know, some more coin for him. But yeah, I don't know. I took down Zeb's full name. I mean, he kind of felt like Lisan Al-Gaib. This felt like a Dune episode a little bit. I don't know.
Right. I get it.
I'm in the book
It's
right
elevated
now,
sci-fi for sure in this one. Like, on a level this show doesn't really breach a lot.
Yeah, the prophecy. Zeb's part of a prophecy right now. And, like, there's the fool, the child, the warrior, all this stuff. And then, he will lead us to our home planet, all these things. And, Lasan, just like, is just close to Lisan Al-Gaib. I was literally like in my head. I was like calling Zeb, like
Lisan Al-Gaib.
Yeah, like I was just calling all the names. Yeah, I don't know. I was just going through this episode. But
God, I need to rewatch those movies.
Like the bow rifle, like as the ancients would use it, like that. It's just like it can just do this.
My scene in this episode changed like 4 fucking times.
Yeah.
Like whenever Ezra and Zeb sat down to talk, I was like, well, that's my scene. And then the next, like a couple seconds later, he's whipping out the bow rifle and I'm like, oh, never mind. That's my scene. And then they're getting through the maelstrom and I'm like, well, that's my fucking scene. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't not go with that. So like, it's kind of crazy how strong this episode was. I love a Zebisode, as I will dub it.
Zebisode. Ooh.
Zebisode.
Yes.
I love a Zebisode.
Man, this prime. I mean, this one, sorry, Sabine, but Zeb kind of won this little battle here. If it was a competition, it's really not.
Yeah, if it was.
But I don't know. Yeah, more hopeful, and it's nice that and Hera's like, yeah, we've been here before, so the ghost can get back. We can come back at any time, and anyone who needs help.
Fucking gorgeous too. I mean,
yeah.
Not only did my scene change through as it just kept progressing, but my shot kept changing too. I was like, holy shit, it keeps getting fucking prettier.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And, like from a literal aesthetic standpoint, I took down what my favorite shot is, which is when the ghost is tiny on the right side of the screen and the maelstrom is giant on the left half. Like, that's beautiful to look at. But as far as there's so many examples of just fantastic staging in that episode, and staging's funny considering it's animated, like, but I don't know how else to refer to it, like where the characters are on the screen as they are all being drawn. It's so impressive. And the part whenever Zeb is guiding the ship and Kanan and Ezra come up and put their hands on his back, like, oh my god, that shot is cool.
Is it supposed to be, in this moment right here, it's the warrior, fool, and child, but seems that Kanan would be the warrior here.
Yeah, Ezra would be the
child. Or okay. I guess she does refer to as Zeb as because it's just the fool feels. I don't know what's up with the fool. You know what?
Well, and that's what's cool is that like the warrior, fool, and child when it comes to Kanan, Zeb, and Ezra. I think there's something to be said for the fact that all three of them could be any of the three, given at any given time. You know, Zeb's not much of a fool this episode, and neither is Kanan or Ezra. But they all have their moments. They all have the times when they are a warrior. They all have their times when they are a fool, and they all have their times when they're childish. You know, so I think I think there's a little bit of something there. I think literally in this episode, though, it would be Zeb's the warrior. Ezra's the child, and Hondo's the fool, actually.
Oh, yeah, that is good. And because I was trying to think of, like, what is the fool... Like, I could see why you would want attributes of a warrior, why you would want attributes... Oh.
Oh, sorry. Did I make this a FaceTime call on accident?
I didn't know if there was something going on in the meantime. I don't know. It felt like it was something important to check in on.
That's my bad. No, that's... I moved a little bit, and it did that. Sorry. We can go ahead and... how the fuck does that just happen?
Yeah, I guess it is just a button on there now. One of the middle buttons or
But
whatever.
You can't get back to
I guess
the phone call?
I have to end real quick and then just call.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, well, hey, no problem. I don't know. Here, let's go right back into... Nope. There
Sorry
we
about
go.
that, everybody.
Okay. And
I'm not even going to cut out... Did you pause the audio or anything? I'm not even going to cut that out.
No,
that was kind of funny.
Didn't. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's up to you if you want to cut that out.
I thought
Like
like Duke was,
comedic.
I don't know, doing something funny, and you were just like, you have to see this at this moment. And I'm
No,
like, well,
he's,
I have to check in.
He's looking at me a little funny, but no, he's just laying down in the yard. He's chilling like a villain right now.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's good. My bad. I adjusted and I accidentally bumped the FaceTime button, I guess. But yeah, no, these were a couple of really strong episodes, and I do agree that the Zebisode, as I dubbed it, is definitely the superior one. But I think that's just because of the heightened sci-fi genre of it all. Like you said Dune, and that does feel apt. And I saw that you put Interstellar in the shot section because that feels apt too. And I think that they're just really, really different. And the Mandalorian obviously comes with the Western aesthetic generally. You know, that's how they treat the Mandalorian show. That's how they treat this episode where they're facing off. That's how they're designed to make it look like they have the low brim cap on. You know, like it's cool. It's and I love the Western and the pride that they stand on business about their abilities. And I love the philosophical nature of episode 13. There's that the Jedi versus Mandalorian philosophy thing. The way that Fen and Kanan are able to respect each other on the grounds that they have an understood history. It's really, really cool. And I think that my favorite scene from episode 13 is when Kanan knows the route Fen has to go. And they calm him, and Sabine's like, you can't let him answer that. He's a prisoner. And Kanan's like, nah, you see, he has no fucking choice. It's great. It's good stuff. I love stuff like that, man. And it really, really plays well. And I think that the mutual respect they have above all else is what makes that episode work so well. And
the little callback a little bit, maybe, whenever we got a stormtrooper saying they take prisoners now, and then we have Hera, the one being like, wow, we do that now? We're doing that? And he's, what
it is funny
Kanan
that they literally do it the next week.
Kanan calls him a something recruit, a
hesitant, reluctant
recruit. I knew it was like alliteration. I'm like, there's two R's in there, I feel like, for sure, but I couldn't. Okay, there it is. But, that, I don't know, that was good. But no, I mean, Zeb's, it was kind of interstellar in animation form. That's what I put for my shots, because I don't even know which one to pick out of all of them. Like, even whenever they they kind of go into hyperdrive, I guess, like he's actually going through, and then all the like the light beams that are being separated or like kind of coming through. Man, it was
absolutely. And even whenever they are discovering the map to Lyrasan and Zeb's activating his bow rifle and he's putting it in the middle and it's the lightning shooting off. Again, the staging there is just incredible.
Yeah.
And that's something that 13 did really well too, you know, like that's why my shot was my favorite shot because of that image of Sabine's hand hovering over her blaster and Fen Rao sitting on the left side of the screen and with his hand hovering over his. It's just really, really strong, and it's story like you can tell when things are storyboarded just excruciatingly down to the detail. And the second one here, episode 14, felt like it was one of those. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get this fucking right."
Yeah, they
and
needed to
boy,
treat Zeb right. Yeah, and I think they did. Like even whenever they finally get there, and he's passed out at first, Zeb, but like that, the blocking of that, like that shot right there when he's center, you know, the front and center, but behind everybody, and then Ezra and Kanan wake up first and wake him up, and I don't know, it is. Yeah, I don't know. There was kind of a difference. Like it did feel like they were
a little bit of a
paying more of
messianic
attention
thing
to it.
they're treating Zeb with in that one too. There's like a Last Supper-esque figure there, I think, with him sleeping in the middle and like his arms kind of out to the side. You know, I'm really, really impressed with that episode, just from a technical standpoint, beyond the like what, you know, because I do love the ending whenever Hera's like, and now consider the system charted, you know, we can come back whenever we want. It's like, it's really sweet and it's sentimental and it's the good stuff. It's what you want from Rebels, but there's I loved the comparison to Dune. That did feel very, very apt, just in terms of, you know, the prophecy and the grandiosity. You just don't get we don't get stuff on this scale in Rebels a lot. So it felt it's crazy that this whole thing probably could have been a 3-episode arc if they wanted it to, but they just shoved it into a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, we really could have expanded on this, but that's okay. I mean, it made this one episode really, really good and stand out. But what a really cool world just Lyra-san kind of is, just tucked away and hidden because presumably, I guess you need one of these staffs to protect your ship to get there. Like, how else the fuck you gonna get here without your ship just blowing up? Because before they even entered the Maelstrom, like everything just got torn to bits. Like those TIE fighters just gone instant, and then like Callus's ship was even almost getting torn up. It was, I don't know, so it was kind of sick just to see. I don't know if it was Zeb's or the power kind of yellow surging through the ship that made the blasters like deflect off of them, or if that was just kind of the gravity of the Maelstrom or whatever kind of deflecting them. But like it seemed that like that staff gave them like protection from that, like the blasters wouldn't have hit them.
There's a certain there's a certain connection to the Force that they possess, you know, like there's actually a really cool,
what did they called it, the Ashai,
the Ashla, Ashla.
Okay,
no, and that comes from George Lucas's original conception of what the Force would be referred to as. There's a lot of really interesting mythology that he sprawled when conceptualizing the Force, and ultimately decided to simplify it as much as he could. I'm tempted to make the Bendu comes back around on this eventually in this show. And explains the Ashla as the light side and something else as the dark side. So I'm tempted to ask you what the dark side counterpart is, but I might just, you know what, fuck it. It's a fun fact. There's no reason for you to. It's called the Boggin, Bogan.
I would have never gotten the
that's why I was like, that's what, Boggin. Ashla and Boggin.
Bogcast. That's, I don't know,
the Bogcast. Gotta bring it back.
Wow.
No, but
the Boggin.
Yeah, the Ashla and the Boggin.
Ashla Boggin. I don't know why that just sound. I don't know, that's a. I kind of, no offense to the Ashla and the Boggin, but the light in the dark and Force. I don't know, that's very simple. It does work well. Very, very nice and poignant. But I don't know. It was cool to see this other whatever, or these. I don't know. Seemed that Zeb's staff had some kind of power, but then also there was some like rock or crystal or something that like was, I don't know. I felt like, what's the older lady's name? Shava? Is that it?
Something like that.
But
I can't remember.
Yeah, whenever she like, I feel like she either just touched the stone or like maybe moved it or activated it on her staff or something like that. which was, I don't know, it was cool. Just another kind of sect of Star Wars force wielding or whatever is going
or
on here.
force worshipping almost too. You know, she almost feels more akin to Lor Santeca than she does. You know, like I don't even know who to pull there. Like she doesn't feel like a Dathomirian Night Sister or anything. You know, like she doesn't feel like she's wielding it like a witch would. She's praising it almost the way that Lor Santeca does, and I think that's really, really cool. I love expansions on the Force as a religion when you aren't in touch with it. I think that's a really, really cool concept, and I wish it was something we could play with a little bit more. I mean, like, there's not many ways to play with it. You know, it's not like it doesn't have a ton of legs, but I would be cool with more of these characters kind of popping up, because it's really, really cool. I love this concept.
Man, yeah, I guess Zeb really thought I don't know where Hondo found these Lasad people, because I guess he was the one who said that he sold them to the Empire knowing that they would get saved, or whatever. So I guess, hey, whatever. Hondo's a resourceful man. You know, he can really find some unknown or people that are not supposed to exist.
No, yeah, and he did. I'm pretty sure he alerted Ezra and the crew to this. He was like, "I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna get my money, and I'm gonna do the morally right thing." So that, you know, like there's a little bit of a have your cake and eat it too thing going on for Hondo there, and he almost always seems to get away with it, which is hilarious. But
yes, he does. I don't know. Everyone loves Hondo, though. It is just
hard to not.
Man, he is just never in live action yet, which is crazy. Only in Disney World, I guess. You can see him.
Dude,
for real.
And he's got a fucking fantastic design at Disney World. It's absolutely insane they haven't used that costume, literally that fucking costume in a show. Like, especially considering Mandalorian breached the pirate thing, maybe Skeleton Crew, maybe that's what we got to look forward to. But no, I mean, regardless, like, whether he gets adapted in live action or not, no big deal. I think that what he's done in animation stands well enough on its own. It is just kind of crazy given how much they have adapted into live action that they haven't played with that.
Yeah, that costume is sick. I'm looking at it now. Holy shit. Yeah, just go ahead. Boom.
Fucking that guy. I don't even care. I don't even care who plays him. That guy probably does really, really well if he's doing the Disney World one. Like, all those actors are actually pretty fucking incredible at doing their roles.
It's like the Broadway version of
yeah,
Star
it's live
Wars.
performance, man. There's a lot of improv involved. You know, like you're interacting with people, and you gotta do your thing. You know, it's pretty impressive.
Really a part of Star Wars that goes completely untalked about, I feel like. Not a lot of people get to experience it kind of in the...
My absolute favorite is the woman who plays Rey at Disney Star Wars, at the Star... what is it called? Galaxy's Edge. The chick who plays Rey is so fucking precious with the little girls dressed as Rey. Anytime that I see a picture of that, it just puts a giant fucking smile on my face. It's so sweet. But yeah, Hondo is really, really good.
I need to get there. I don't know. I need to.
Oh, I gotta get to Galaxy's Edge at some point. I was gonna go before COVID, and then COVID hit, and that really fucked everything for me.
Yeah, damn COVID.
My parents were like, "We're gonna take you to Galaxy's Edge for your birthday," and I don't think we've talked about it since then because COVID happened, and it was just kind of like, that
don't want to remember.
And I feel like if I brought it up, they'd kind of be like, "What? When did we say that?" And I'd be like, "Come on now, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that."
No. Yeah, but I feel like I was at Disney World. There was like a Star Wars part, but it wasn't Galaxy's Edge. There's no way. I mean, it's like new. It's like pretty new, right? Like it hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, within the last 6 years.
Okay,
5 or 6 years.
But I remember there was it was just like a stage where Vader came out and like some people went up to you went to fight him. Like you would have Jedi training.
You know, it's been owned by Disney since fucking, what was it, 2013, 2012? So like it's
okay, that sounds about right then.
They might not have opened a park, but they probably celebrated Star Wars in some capacity.
But yeah, I need to see that Millennium Falcon. I need to build one of those lightsabers for like $300 for whatever reason.
We ought to take a Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast trip out to the Galaxy's Edge at some point.
Yeah,
would be well worth our time.
Is there blue milk out there? They got to.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
There's blue
okay.
milk.
I was gonna say there's like no other drink in Star Wars that you can really get. Like, is there an alcoholic?
Everything you can imagine they have.
Yeah.
No, I'm just but it does seem like a great time, man. So, but yeah, no, there's all sorts of stuff to love here, and I think that these 2 episodes they shined a light on some of our further down the call sheet players, and I'm glad they did. But
Zeb leading the way. Yeah, I don't know. That was another, like, man, he is truly Lisan al-Gaib. Like, in the scene,
Lisan al-Gaib.
I am pointing. I guess he says pointing the way. I think maybe is what he says. Or no, I'm leading the way. Maybe is what I think is what he says.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Lisan al-Gaib literally does mean the one who points the way.
This is Zeb might actually be Lisan al-Gaib, I mean, because
I believe it. Lisan al-Gaib.
Paul's just putting on the act, for the time for, I guess, his sister that's cooking. I don't know the full details of the story, actually. Now I'm going too deep into the Dune web, but I was trying to maybe say at the end of it that Zeb is actually the true Lisan al-Gaib, and somehow...
No, I think you don't even really need to dig into the weeds there to really land on that. Yeah, I think it's fair to say.
Case closed. Whenever
case open, case closed.
Yeah,
quickly.
Whenever we see him, he's popping up in something live action. Is it? Mm-hmm. It's not Andor.
The Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Okay, yeah. I mean, was he just in that trailer? Is that where he was most recent? Okay, that's right. So yeah,
and he was in an episode of The Mandalorian season 3.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay, so yeah, who knows if they'll call back on this.
By the way, insane that they tie him to the Mandalorian and the entire Rebels crew is in Ahsoka. I don't get that. Regardless, fuck it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the Mandoverse. I don't like thinking about it. Ahsoka should have been Rebels season 5. I don't give a fuck.
I guess whatever it's called. I guess I'm good. I'm glad there's still content at least. But yeah,
I'm glad they're still making stuff. But is there potentially a problem with the fact that I don't feel wrong about you calling it content? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it feels like content.
That is
it doesn't feel
all
like
it is now. Man, that is kind of.
I wouldn't call Andor content.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Ahsoka, that's content.
Yeah, it is.
Feels like content.
It is. Andor is art. That is actual, purposeful beauty. Everything in the sense. But no, Ahsoka
feels more on the content side of things. It feels like we're filling a gap, Like I don't want you to fill a gap. I want you to create, I don't want you to feel obligated to tell me a story. Tell me a story, I don't care.
Within these 2 episodes of Rebels, like, honestly, like, no, I don't want to say that maybe that Ahsoka didn't accomplish with what these 2 episodes did. I think the story was still
there's
cool.
Some fun stuff in Ahsoka. Yeah, I don't want to dismiss it entirely. But Shinati is a really, really cool, and Balin Skull, and all that. Like that side of things is really, really exciting. I like that. But yeah, regardless, not to go off on the Ahsoka tangent too hard.
Hey,
but
we're going places. To Dune, to Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's just what Lisan al-Gaib will do for you. But I see all realities at the same time. But yeah, I think we might be ready for some trivia. What do you say?
Are we there? Okay. Well, you didn't know it, but I guess it's kind of a 2-parter of my trivia last week. Kind of related in a way, because I asked you the voice that Rey hears at the end of her vision, the last voice that she hears, but now, a little bit later on, in the last movie, The Rise of Skywalker, she is down on the ground, she's down on her luck, and she really, really needs some help, and she's calling out to all the Jedi, to all of them. I don't want to know the last voice she hears. I want to know the very, very first voice that she hears, 1, and 2, if you can give the line as well.
I will not be able to give you the line. I will not be able to give you the line.
Okay.
And the person is going to be tough. I can rattle off several people she does hear
there
from.
is a lot. Definitely a lot.
Yeah,
That's why I had
know.
to limit it to the first. I feel like it'd be wrong.
I mean, even
to
Freddie
ask.
Prinze Jr. gets some love in this one. Kanan does speak to her. Ahsoka obviously does as well. She's not first either, though. Yoda does. He might be. I don't know. Obi-Wan, Anakin, Luke. I'm going Mace Windu.
Okay, final answer.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then no guess on the line. If you just want to take a
couldn't
random
even. I mean,
stab.
let's see.
And no problem. I mean, it would be tough to come up with a line out of nowhere if you wouldn't be thinking.
Yeah, it's surprising. I can't even really pinpoint a specific line from that sequence, which is kind of insane. Maybe it just shows how much I pay attention to the first two movies.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of with you. At first, I thought all of the lines were kind of jumbled together and over top each other, and you couldn't even really make out. It's really very linear.
I thought they do they overlap
eventually
a little
they
bit?
do. Like eventually they do,
Yeah.
but the first few are actually like 1 and then 2 and then 3 then it starts after kind of the third one. But the first two people are very clear.
Okay.
But it is sadly not Mace Windu. It was Ewan McGregor again. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It was Obi-Wan
again. So
okay.
I guess that's kind of why they went together. Maybe more of a hint.
That's cool.
That I shouldn't have given. But so he said at first in the first vision that these are your first steps, and now. The first voice she hears is, yes, these are your final steps,
God
Rey.
damn it.
Rise and
I can hear
take
it so
them.
fucking
And
clearly
it's like,
now.
ooh,
Rise and take them. God damn it. Yep. I just needed to be reminded because as soon as you said these are your first steps, I was like, these are your final steps. Rise and take them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so fucking good. I love that part of that movie, man.
I need
it pisses me
to
off
get
I didn't
there
have that.
so bad. I think I just got to The Force Awakens on my Star Wars watch. That's like the most recent one I've watched, and this quote alone has gotten me to like, okay, I need to watch The Last Jedi so that I can watch The Rise of Skywalker again.
Right. Dude, I mean, there's just so much to like in those movies. There is.
So, but yeah, a little two-parter with some Obi-Wan quotes for Rey.
I dig it.
But yeah.
I dig it. All right, my trivia question for you. I teased something last week. And I was like, oh no, I kind of gave it away. So I liked the idea though. So I wanted to kind of stick in that lane. Which is, so I'm going with this one. It's, which Star Wars film pays homage to the first Best Picture winner ever, Wings, 1927, via recreating a shot from the film within it?
Oh no. Wings. Well, I've never seen Wings.
Nor have I.
But let's see. When did Wings come out? And I'm assuming it's about planes in the sky. Like, is it?
I couldn't even tell you. 1927, and it was the first winner of the Best Picture Oscar.
Oh, the first ever winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the Star Wars films pays homage to that film by recreating a shot from that movie within a Star Wars context.
Okay. Process of elimination. Prequels don't sound likely because they're not really known for being critically that well. The Empire sticks out for being just beautiful at every possible turn, and it would make sense for the Best Picture nom to be some inspiration. But I feel if it's not Empire, I'm kind of crossing out every prequel. It'd probably be Empire out of the original trilogy. And then if it's a sequel, it probably would be The Last Jedi, if I had to guess. Ooh, but which one do I choose? Which middle movie? I'm going with one of them. One of the middles. Ooh, is George good enough? Or is Rian Johnson good enough? Did you pick it because you like Rian Johnson more? Maybe I go with The Last Jedi. I think yes. I will lock in as my final answer. The Last Jedi.
That is correct. Oh! It is The Last Jedi.
Oh, I'm glad
it
I
is
went
The
with
Last
the
Jedi. It is the shot that introduces us to the casino on Canto Bight, that oneer that kind of tracks over the top of all the casino tables and leads us right up to Finn and Rose at the end of the hall.
Okay, my mind was completely in the wrong place. I thought that this was like a plane taking off, or I thought it was planes for sure, or something to do with the sky.
That might be what the movie is about, but no, that is not what the shot is. If you look it up, Wings and The Last Jedi, you will be mesmerized by the fact that they achieved that in 1927. It makes, like, the one in The Last Jedi is beautiful, but the fact that they were able to do the same thing in 1927, arguably even more beautiful, is fucking wild.
27? Wait a minute. Oh, wait, no!
They had to have it on something.
No way
It can't be. It can't be. So that's just one of my favorite little details in any Star Wars movie ever, because that is a gorgeous shot in The Last Jedi, and the idea that it is an homage to one of the first
I've seen it side by side. The Last Jedi takes it up. But still, for 1927, that is actually mind-boggling to think about how they actually achieved that. But
yeah,
okay,
I believe it's 27. I believe it is.
Man, I really almost went with Empire just because of how just critically.
Yeah.
Well,
no, The Last Jedi was that is interesting because George Lucas. My thought was that if you were going to do a process of elimination, I knew that I knew you weren't going to land on a J.J. Abrams movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it was out of the sequels, it was kind of easily The Last Jedi.
It was definitely The Last Jedi. But I didn't think you'd eliminate the prequels so quickly because of George Lucas's love for older movies. And he famously did not direct Empire or Return of the Jedi. So I thought maybe you'd slide your way towards maybe The Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I was just going.
But no,
for
I'm proud of you.
Ones that looked a little bit better, and the prequels are cool. But man, the ones that look good are Empire and The Last Jedi. I feel like if I had to pick,
those are gorgeous. They're gorgeous, man.
But
yeah, cool. Then, do we want to call it there, or do we want to get an on the spot in?
Well, my on the spot might come from this episode. Honestly, when I was thinking about it, I didn't even mean for it. I created created it before I watched these pair.
Then fuck it. Let's do it. We're doing an on the spot, everybody.
And okay, I don't even know
on the spot deciding to do an on the spot.
Yeah, I don't even know where this came from, but I just wanted to know. Out of the entire Star Wars universe, anybody, who do you think the best cook or chef would be? And if you could sit down and have a meal with them, what do you think they would cook, or what would you want them to cook? And then,
okay, now I have a... Okay, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, because I started to think about it, I'm like, who the fuck can cook in Star Wars? Like, who has the time to actually sit down and cook?
I have a little bit of a hack here because I've read the books.
Okay.
Or not all. I don't want to say the books.
Pastime. Yes, you have the pastime of people. Then
I do.
So you have insider knowledge.
I know specifically who I would want to cook for me and what I would ask them to cook. It would be a High Republic Jedi by the name of Porter Engle. Porter Engle cooks a mean 9-egg stew, and I don't know what the fuck is in that stew aside from 9 fucking eggs, but I know for a fact it's delicious. Everyone fucking loves it whenever they taste it. He cooks it and everyone is immediately happier. It is made with love, and Porter Engle is an absolute sweetheart. So if I could eat with anybody in the Star Wars universe and have them cook for me, it would be Porter Engle's 9-egg stew. I'm there.
I'm actually glad that there is an in-universe answer that you could give, because I was going to be like, I have no clue. At first I'm like, maybe this old Lasat, like I kind of already forgot her name, but just like an old grandma. I was trying to think of like an old grandma, just because grandmas are usually good at cooking. And then like Pele popped into my head. I don't know why. I don't even think. I don't know. She can either be a really good cook or a really, really bad cook. I don't think
the way she was searing that crate dragon meat was kind of nice.
We did see her cook. Really, we did.
I believe. Okay. We saw her grilling. I believe we saw her grilling
on the grill. Good old Pele on the grill. But I don't know. Thinking of cooks is kind of tough. No one really has the time really or we don't really see that.
I mean, like everything's a matter of convenience in Star Wars. You know, like who I bet could like low key fucking cook a dish is. If you get him the right tools, Lando Calrissian.
Oh my god, I bet
he could cook.
I knew it before you said it. I'm like, I don't know. I just got the wavelength of Lando. Like I could see him on Cloud City. Like he has his penthouse. Ooh,
he's got his own little kitchen up there.
Yeah, does he have like the fucking biggest room there is in Cloud City? Like he has the penthouse, whatever the equivalent of a penthouse is in Cloud City. The Pent Cloud. I don't know what he'd have a more clever name for sure. Lando would, but no, I could see Lando up there cooking. I could see even Luthen for some reason, like more of like a scientific cooker. Like I bet he makes a mean chili.
Practical. Luthen Rael can cook up a fucking chili.
For long trips, when he needs multiple meals, just heat up a bowl of chili. Boom. He's got it down. But yeah, food's, I don't know, food's kind of scarce in Star Wars. And usually when we see it, it's not good.
It's not appetizing.
Yeah,
no.
It's usually never good. Pabu. Give me all the food on Pabu. I forgot.
Fucking Shep.
Yes.
Fucking Shep would cook,
God.
bro.
I don't even need
Shep would fucking rail.
I don't need to have any, just whatever he prepares me. I'm not having any suggestions.
I'm there.
Okay.
Shep is, I'm like, cook's choice, You decide what I'm eating, Shep. I'm there. No, that's a great question. That is a great question. It's a lot better than the one I had prepared. I know that we think a lot about who our favorite characters are in Star Wars. Now, if that happens to overlap with my question, fair, but I want you to think a little deeper. Who in the Star Wars universe do you think would be your best friend if you got to meet them?
Ooh. Whoa.
Because my favorite character is Leia. I don't think Leia would be my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. I'd say
I don't think she would fuck with me the way I fuck with her. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that is. And even who my favorite character is right now, I really love an Obi-Wan recently. He's been my top dog. He's been my GOAT for kind of a while. But I don't think I don't know. I don't think he kind of would seem just like he's the dad joke, He's the
and Jedi are tough.
Yeah,
Jedi are tough. I don't know how much I want to kick it with a Jedi. Like they're stoic, and Obi-Wan's about as loosey goosey as they get. But like if that's as loosey goosey as they get, I don't know. I don't really want to kick it with Jedi. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mando would be cool just for the muscle and the reputation, but like he's not really you don't really get to talk to him much, and he's not taking off his helmet anymore.
I'm like, I don't think and I don't think he'd want to be my friend. I don't think he's looking for friends, and I don't really want to be his friend. I would like to roll with him, but I don't think I want to be like, you're my dog. Poe is a good fucking choice. That is a good call.
That's at least the first one that's feeling pretty good so far.
You know what?
Is Poe.
I'm gonna bring him back up. Shep. On the island of Pabu.
Ooh.
I need that man I need him around.
Tech. No. I don't even want to think about it, actually. No, I would not be
I don't want my best friend to be dead.
No. Yeah, no. But, in another world, where that, I don't know, that there was a lot of mattresses down there and a really soft landing, and he got away unscathed.
Perfect world. Perfect world. But grown-up Ezra.
Ooh.
I think I could kick it with grown-up Ezra. I think that would be my dog. He's cool as fuck.
Ahsoka.
I like that guy.
If I had to pick a Jedi, she's not really a true Jedi. She wouldn't. I don't know, but Ahsoka might be the closest that I like. Old, even her stoic self. I would be kind of cool to chick. Maybe not best friend, but she'd be cool. She'd be a nice friend. But I think
she'd be dope.
Poe's
a good answer.
I think Poe might be my favorite. I think I like Poe because Luthen's a cool guy, but I don't know as a friend if.
Hold the fucking phone. I'm gonna go back to your cook question right quick too, because I feel like there's actually quite a bit of overlap here.
Okay.
With like the people you'd want to cook for you is the people who you'd want to be around.
True.
Like it's like their energy is infused within the food. Motherfucking how he got his own diner out there. Dexter fucking Jetster, buddy.
Jetster. And he knows all the information. Obi-Wan went to him.
I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with him for the friend. Because I ain't gonna lie, it looked like they were serving fucking slop in Dex's diner.
Yes.
I ain't gonna cap with you. It doesn't look like it. I don't think that's where you're going for fine dining. By any stretch.
That's fair. That is fair. He was more for the information. Obi-Wan didn't really stick around for the meal. I don't know. It didn't. Well, I don't know. Was he?
I've been
eating?
Standing up. I've been standing up for the on the spot segment, and I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel really loose. I'm digging it. I might stand up for the podcast from now
on the 2 feet.
Because it almost feels like like I got the mic to my face, and I feel like I'm walking around a little bit. Like I got a little bit of like I'm imagining an audience.
You need to try a
laughing at me and
soapbox.
shit.
That's the next step. Just get on a podium.
Yeah, I need a fucking podium.
Yeah, get Duke to sit and just kind of look up at you and listen.
Duke, come here.
Yeah,
come here. Look at me. No, but yeah, I think I would go with Dex for my best friend in Star Wars.
I like. Yeah, it definitely isn't your favorite character. Because you're right. Like, it definitely takes a lot more thinking. I feel like I even haven't thought of every option yet. I feel like there's even more out there.
Hondo Onaka would be cool. Maz Kanata would be cool.
Padme.
Padme would be dope.
More than a best friend. For Pat, I mean, if we're talking Padme,
will you marry me?
Yeah,
that sort of vibe. I'm trying to get murdered by Anakin Skywalker. That's my plans.
Bix honestly might be the most just like human.
Bix.
Just like she actually would just kind of fit in this world and be chill.
Brasso. Give me Brasso.
A real
Brasso's
one.
my boy.
Brasso
is my fucking dude. No, we are kicking it. On Saturday, we're watching college football, and we are just kicking it all goddamn day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Also kind of looks like Jason Kelsey a little bit, now that I'm thinking
There's a little bit of a Jason Kelsey vibe there. Brasso is a fan of football, of American football.
He's gotta be.
Brasso is a football guy. That is Brasso.
The alimony, or that's not the word. The alibi. Alimony. What even is that? What is that?
Alimony is what you pay to a former spouse after a divorce.
Okay, not even close to what I was going for. Alibi. I'm not gonna lie. I did start drinking wine when I started watching the first 2 episodes, so I joined you.
That's why I'm having. I feel like that's why I'm having a really good time with this on the spot right now. This is making me feel like we should do an on the spot every week. This is a good fucking time.
Yeah. You never know where you're gonna go. A cook.
No.
Cook. I thought it was honestly a really limiting answer. I'm like, there's not many options because of everyone is always just on the fight or never has time to cook. But then you actually were like, no, I know. I know
for a fact there's a great cook
9-egg soup. Give me that, right? Like, yes, like
I need it. I need it.
So
bro's cooking. Not to double down on the cook thing, but it's I feel like there's a lot of friends out there, and they're not who you think they are. You know what I'm saying?
Maz Kanata would be really cool. She could tell stories for days.
If I started speaking Shriwook, I'd be down with Chewbacca.
Oh man,
it'd just be the language barrier just might be a little much right now.
Yep, it's true. Nothing a little Duolingo can't fix or
That's fair. Or
I don't know what the Star Wars equivalent. I feel like they got language classes down. in the Star Wars universe. That's like
no, they're set.
I mean,
bro.
there's
Well, and they've got to have translators that are just like kind of like instantaneous at this point too, you know, like you'd think anyway. You know, you got why the fuck we still got protocol droids walking around being like, "Oh yeah, this motherfucker said this," you know? Like
yeah. You think you just put a little earbud in and just have it
Ooh, speaking of protocol droids, I'm not going C3PO, but I am going droids BB-8.
Oh, what a good guy. What a good...
That's a homie.
Yes.
That is the B2E Mo. That's the homie.
Oh, we need a... B2 needs a friend, too. I guess he's...
Yeah,
he's
he
living with
does.
Brasso. No.
Right?
No, he took off. Did he take off with them at the end there? Where is B2 right now? What's his... I'm kind of... Cause
I don't think he hopped on ship with Cassian and Luthen, right?
I don't think so. Was he?
Is he kicking it with Brasso?
I think.
Yeah, because he was in the midst of the riot. Because he was the one projecting Marva.
Yes. Oh man. So he's kicking it with Brasso. I guess that's okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Brasso took.
He's got
him
a
in.
friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? You know what? We just took two best friends and we made them best friends.
Boom.
You know, two best friend potentials, and now they're best friends. You know, that's cool with me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Not best friends.
Love me some Brasso.
Tim. Well.
Yeah. Mortal enemies. Tim.
It's always the simple name ones, you know, that just get to you. Like Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
Kevin.
Kevin Lannister.
Fucking Kevin, dude.
We were on the
hell?
same exact
Yep.
page as soon as you brought it there. I was like, fucking Kevin Lannister.
Yep.
God
Yep.
damn.
And now, you know, Tim. Let's see. Is there anyone in...
Hey, but it's Tim with two M's of note.
Okay.
Makes it a little more interesting.
All right. I guess we're in another galaxy. Let's throw in another letter there. But yeah, we haven't...
Let's just give him an extra M.
I don't think we have really anybody in the Rebels show that just is like a Kevin or a Tim. Because Callus, that's
Yeah,
not...
I mean,
that's, you know, that's out
that's
there.
not a normal
That's cool.
name.
That's a cool name. Thrawn, no.
Yeah, that's... yeah, definitely not. Rook. Yeah, not...
Yeah, no. Finn Rao, no. Yeah, they're cooking for Rebels. They're not taking anything.
Yeah, they don't settle for a normal name ass bitch. Mm-mm. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, there's no John.
Mm-mm. Ryder Azadi joined, you know, and
that's fucking sick.
And the little
that is so sick.
Airport guy up there, Corey, that made the plane. Hondo Onaka. I guess you know he wasn't birthed here.
Commander Sato.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. We're I mean, what was it? Ketso Onyo.
Yeah.
Like cook. You know, like we are living that. That's a new on the spot at some point.
Come up with a brand new Star Wars name.
Yeah,
Ooh.
a new Star Wars name, or just like your favorite Star Wars name. Period. Regardless, we'll come back to that eventually. But I think with that, we can comfortably end this episode of Fulcrum, a Star Wars podcast, and we'll be back next week with episodes 15 and 16. Damn, we are pushing it through season 2. We are having a good time. The Call next week, man, I'm excited for that one. I am so ready. So we'll be back next week. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter at the Fulcrum Pod and at Penny Bloom Pod for more information on anything we might be doing. We just wrapped up our series of live commentaries on the original trilogy of Star Wars on The Cinementalists. It was a great time. You need to check that out. Watch some original trilogy with us. Listen to us talk about it as you watch it. It's a great time. You should be there. You should be subscribed. You should be following, whatever the fuck. Just go ahead and be there. We're doing Death by Television on Mondays, where we're covering The Penguin. Fantastic show so far. Absolutely loving it. Cannot wait for more of it. You need to be there. Let's see. Yeah, Penny Bloom Dispatch. That's every Friday. Me and my dad also do a show every Sunday or Monday. It's a lot of fun. You ought to be there as well. That's all on Penny Bloom Pod. So we've got a lot going on. We're doing a bunch. And I believe, is tomorrow Halloween?
Mm-hmm. It is. A big day.
That means on The Cinementalists, we're dropping off a handy-dandy bag of treats, which is 5 episodes. That's right. 5 motherfucking episodes one day on Halloween. We are covering The Evil Dead. We're covering Psycho. We're covering Night of the Living Dead. We're covering The Exorcist. Yeah, we're covering Halloween. So 5 movie coverages coming tomorrow on the Sentimentalists, you gotta be there. You gotta be there. You must. But yeah, so leave a 5-star rate and review wherever you might be listening. Download. I'd appreciate it. And with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And remember, for light and life.